Hi, I'm Tony Daniels, and I'm here recording our summer experiment, our summer parenting experiment. My good buddy John Paul asked if I would do this, and I said sure, and I thought maybe it might be helpful for other people too. So I'm just going to jump in and do this crazy thing. So for those of you who might not know a whole lot about my husband and I, Matt, we raised a very rebellious teenager, to say the least, who had grown up overseas and moved home, and just had a lot of challenges along the way. And we had lots of really good help along the way from professional services and ministries. And so we really just got a lot of help that most people don't get when they're parenting teenagers, honestly. And so now we have a 9 and a 10-year-old who are coming up the ranks. And we thought, why don't we start applying some of the stuff we learned with them already at this young age? Because we both work full time and they're at home all summer. So we thought, I wonder what we'd like to see happen as an experiment if we were going to do in the summer. So that's the background, and I'm just going to jump right into our fun experiment we're doing. So as you can see on the screen, I have our document called the Summer Growth Plan. This is printed out in 3 times, one where we can see it, and then one where Annie can see it, and one where Matt can see it. In our hallway, we have a workstation, and each one of them has a clipboard, and then different places where they can stick things where they know their backpacks go, and that's where they look for information that's important to them. They have a calendar that they can use with a whiteboard marker there and all of that. So this goes on that clipboard along with one of their chore charts that you'll see on here. So our summer growth plan, really our goals this summer are to be joy-filled as a family. We want to see self-leadership in living a balanced life. Now, our kids went to Julia Green in Nashville, and it's an international baccalaureate school. So they talk a lot about balanced life and principled and self-leadership and things like that. So that's not a foreign concept to them. They're very aware of what being balanced means. We've also studied, just for some more background, Dr. Dan Siegel's healthy brain platter or healthy mind platter, if you've ever heard of that. And it has just a balance, everything our brain needs physically, our physical brain needs in order to thrive. So you'll see some of that in some of these charts. We've just splattered it with some of those healthy things that they need. So when we say balanced life, they know what we're talking about. We're talking about giving your body, your brain, your soul, everything it needs to thrive. So we want to help them grow in leading themselves into that, right? They're a little young, I'll say. That's why this is a huge experiment. Some people wouldn't start doing this with their kids until they're 12 or 13. But we thought, what the heck, why don't we play this summer with it and see what they're capable of, and then we can adjust it along the way. So that's the experiment. So we want to see teamwork in them as well, because they tend to fight, obviously, like most brothers and sisters. And then we also want to see them internalize a moral framework. Begin internalizing it, right? This is going to take like 8 years or more. But right now, right, they participate in being church with us at home. They love Jesus. You know, it's just beautiful to see them developing this relationship. But we haven't been real structured in anything as far as their faith goes. Like, they haven't had to memorize scripture. Or they haven't had to do anything structured. They pore over Bible comics and things like that. They know all the stories. So they're real self-initiative takers when it comes to that. But we want to help internalize that. So you're going to see some very specific things in here that Matt and I, decided to do this summer as a family to help them begin internalizing some of their faith. So those are our goals, and all of these freedoms and responsibilities and everything kind of go along with those goals. So the way we're laying this out is, this is what we discovered with our oldest, is that it's really helpful when you're parenting to have very clear lines around what their freedoms are and what their responsibilities are in order to get those freedoms. So if they abuse a freedom, if they abuse it, they lose that specific freedom, but also If they're not responsible in the way that we've determined they need to be responsible, they'll lose that freedom too. Okay? So there's two ways they can lose a freedom. We'll take the first one, for example. So for us, our daughter loves music. She loves listening to music, and it's a real important piece for her. She pretty much always gets access to her CDs in her bedroom, but she likes to access Siri, to use Siri to access some of her music online. That's a privilege, right? It's a freedom. So in order to get that freedom, she has to have been honoring us and respecting us. So if I feel respected by her, I don't have a problem letting her listen to music, her music, right? So that works great. The moment I don't feel very respected anymore, then she knows that music's gonna go. And the music, as you can see, are helpful motivations below. We have an up to 3-day restriction for any inappropriate behavior. So if I'm disrespected today, that means for 1 day she probably won't get her music that day for 24 hours, right? And let's say I give it back to her, and then maybe the next day she's disrespectful again, I'll probably take it away for 2 days. And if that happens on the back of that, we'll go for 3. But we've purposefully not gone more than 3 days. We won't go more than 3 days at this age, especially because we want them to get the opportunity to try again. This program that we're experimenting with is built on the reality that they will fail. They will get things removed, and that's okay because that's how they learn. So we remove it for a day, they get it back, they get to try again. And they fail again, no problem. We remove it another day or 2. We give it back, they get to try again. So we're building in them this ability to get it wrong, learn from their mistakes, and then try again. So that helps them understand that failure is not a bad thing, that failure is a way of learning and a process of life. They don't get shame for disrespecting mommy. It's not a shame thing. I get to go, oh, wow, that was really disrespectful. I'm so sorry, darling. No music for a day. I'm sorry. And I can really genuinely feel sad that she's losing her music for a day. But it doesn't become this battle between her and I. See, it becomes a battle between her and herself because she's the one that suffers her own fate, right? TV. So what we've decided for summer, our kids normally don't get TV during the school year. They normally only get 30 minutes or 45 minutes of Minecraft a week during the school year, and that's it. That's all the TV and gaming they get. They get 1 movie night a week, and then they get this 45 minutes of Minecraft. Because our lives are so full during the school year, we just don't have time for any of those things. So summer is free-for-all almost. Not really, but they feel like that. So they might get TV or video games every day, which is amazing for them. But it comes with responsibilities, of course. So TV, for example, in order to have TV regularly, they have to do their daily chores and their meal chores. Now, we can talk about, do they need to do this before they can have TV every day? That's a whole different conversation, but I'll just go through how this works and then we can talk about that. So their daily chores are posted in there on their wall, on the work wall, and I'll just show you what their daily chores are, what that looks like. So each one of them has their own laminated sheet that they can mark off every single day with a Sharpie. They decorate it with their own colors and things like that. So this is their daily. Make the bed, brush your teeth, brush your hair, dress yourself, make and eat your breakfast, and make your lunch. That was when they go to school, but here they just make lunch at lunchtime. Plus, and these are the healthy brain platter, healthy mind platter activities. So, and these are daily routines. These are things we expect them to think about daily. Did they make and eat a snack? Have they had 20 minutes of reading at least? 5 minutes of Moby-Nax, which is a math thing they do. 20 minutes of writing, coloring, or drawing. They can decide what to do in that time. Clean their stuff out of public spaces. So they need to just do a sweep of the house. Where's their stuff, right? 20 minutes of playing outside, which you'll see later. This is an hour during the summer in a different chart. Make or build something creative. Help the family with dinner, which they're also during the summer doing all meals, and then feed the guinea pig. So these are daily things that we expect them to do daily. Now, we don't monitor them. We're not checking off the list for them, and I'm not constantly going to be behind them going, did you do this? Have you done this? Have you done this? I'm done with that, right? Because they're 9 and 10 by now. So maybe they need that for a few more years, but I'm going to experiment and say I'm done with that. So we're going to try it and see how this goes. The way we've decided to do this for now is we're letting them plan their day. So as long as, let me go back to our main chore sheet here, where it is. Okay, so that's daily routines. I'll stick to this. That's daily routines. The meal chores list is here. And I think, there we go. They have to unload the dishwasher. Annie does it Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Maddie does it Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And then they load the dishwasher, right, on the opposite days. And then we all kind of work together to set the table, clear the table, wipe down the counters and the stoves, and prepare the meals. So those are things we all chip in together. We've only had to separate the others. So those are our meal chores. So when we say meal chores, they know that's on the refrigerator. So we have these posted all throughout the house. That one's on the refrigerator. So in order to get TV, they have to do all of their daily chores and their meal chores. Let's just look at that one more time, okay? That plus the meals. Now, we are not going to say you can have TV once all this is done. Maybe we should. We're thinking about it. This is part of the experiment right now, is we're going to go, you know what, we're not going to say that. We're going to, because we're trying to grow them in self-leadership. That's the point this summer. Not that they can do their chores, but that they can lead themselves. So we're going to let them experiment. And fail, right? Because they're going to fail. So this is what this looks like. Well, let me go through the list and then I'll tell you. So video games, they need to do an hour of outdoor play in order to be able to play video games. Notice we don't have a time schedule on the video games, and that might change. We're experimenting, right? But so far we don't. In order to do outings with friends, they have to have the weekend chores done. The weekend chores are wash and fold and put their clothes away, clean the bathrooms, and clean the bedrooms. We've worked with them about 4 months now on how to wash, fold, and put away their clothes, Maria Kondo style. If you haven't watched it, Tidy Up on Netflix, please do. We watched the whole series with the kids, and they learned how to fold every bit of their clothing and put it away. They do still need a little supervision. Sometimes they fail. I find the clothes shoved in the closet, so that's okay. We don't shame. We kind of laugh about it, and then they lose a privilege, right? And guess what? Which privilege they lose? Well, we go right back to this, and they lose outings with friends. So that's really tough. It's really tough when a friend calls and wants them to go out, and it might be Tuesday, and I go, are your weekend chores done from last weekend? And if they're not done, they don't get to go. Now, they might say, well, Mom, they're not going to pick me up till 3 today. Can I do them now? And we'll think about it. And maybe we'll say yes, if they do them if they can. If they have time to do them before the outing, we might let them do it. Because then they're still doing their work. The point isn't to punish them. The point's that they need to get the work done, right? But a lot of times there's not enough time. Their friends call spur of the moment and they can't go because they haven't done it. So this hurts sometimes. It's hard, but it definitely gets the lesson down. And then if they want friends over, they have to be getting along, and they have to have been getting along for a few days, for a few hours. Like, we have to feel good that they're treating each other nicely. If I don't feel like, wow, you guys you've been draining my energy, you haven't been treating each other well, they don't get friends that day. So they know these are going to be directly related. All right, so planning your day. That's what we were talking about earlier. Instead of me and Matt saying you can have TV and video when you do all this huge long list of stuff. What we're experimenting with is you are going to get to plan your own day when we have our Bible time and reflection time every day. So every morning, what we're doing for our Bible and reflection time is we're watching one book of the Bible in the Bible Project video format, which is super fun. So if you don't, if you're not familiar with that, then I highly recommend looking at it because it's amazing. And then we own the book as well, the coffee table book with the cartoon drawn out of every single book of the Bible. So it's really amazing. The kids love it. I love it. So we watch one of those. They're about 7 minutes long. So we watch one of those every morning at breakfast, and then we talk a little bit about it. And then I give them about 3 minutes each to map out their day, to plan their day. So what's the flow of their day going to look like? Are they getting all of their stuff in somehow, right? And then we listen to Jesus about that plan, because we're trying to also teach them to be Jesus-led. And I didn't even have that on there. I need to put that on there, don't I? To have Jesus leadership. Oh, I need to add that one. All right. So that's part of what we're doing as well. We want them to be Jesus-led, even in planning their day. So we do a listening time around, Jesus, is there anything you want me to know about this plan? Anything you want me to know about my day? And we just listen and take some time to listen. Today, was just precious. We just sense God saying, I love you guys so much. And I'm so excited about this new experiment. And I can't wait to learn with you and see what you learn as you go. Anyway, beautiful time together. So when they do that, they get the ability to plan their own day. Okay. So, and then if they're leading themselves well, if we're seeing that they're planning their day well and they're doing it, they're rocking their chores and all of that stuff, we're also going to give them the ability to do computer projects. So that's things like video recording and editing, GarageBand. Annie loves to make PowerPoints. So in order to get like computer time like that, they just have to have good self-leadership. And that means all this is kind of working. So that's that. Helpful motivations. So we talked about the restrictions it's directly tied. So for example, if they don't do their weekend chores, we're not going to take TV away. If they don't do their weekend chores, we're not going to take video games away. So they know that if we don't do weekend chores, we don't get outings with friends. So this is a direct parallel. Each line's directly paralleled. So they know exactly what risk they're taking when they're not doing something they know they need to be responsible for. And it makes it so easy for us, because if I find that they didn't clean their room, I don't have to fret and worry about, oh, what do I take away? What do I take away? I just go right here and go, oh, they don't get any TV for a day, at least, maybe 3. So it just makes it real cut and dry and pretty easy as a parent now. I don't have to think about it every single time it happens, and it doesn't suck energy out of me. It's actually fun, and I get to empathize with how much this might hurt for them, but I get to do it. Great. So also another thing I've implemented is I actually charge them $1 for every item I have to clean up after them, because they're only 9 and 10. So they'll come to me and go, oh, I cleaned my room. Oh, I cleaned all my stuff out of the living room. And then I walk in there and there's like 5 things in there still. So I don't fret. I don't complain about it. I just pick them up and count them. And then they owe me money. So that way I don't feel taken advantage of or contemptuous towards them, because I'm picking up their stuff. And they learn to keep their eyes open and actually pick up their stuff for themselves if they don't want to lose more money. So how do they get money that I'm taking from them, right? Well, first of all, they do get an allowance every week for being responsible members of the family. They get $2.50 a week. We haven't gone up with inflation in 10 years, but they don't know that. Maybe we'll give them more after the summer if they actually start pulling this off. They also, just for fun, they can earn $1 for every Bible verse they memorize. Yeah. I'm paying my children to memorize scripture. Never thought I would do that in my life, but I'm doing it. So again, trying to get them to internalize the things we've taught them, and scripture memory is a great way to do that. And they get $1 for every verse, up to $100 a piece for the summer. So I won't give them over $100, but up to $100, go for it. Every verse you want. So that's how they'll earn their money. That plus their allowance, plus they have birthday money and all kinds of stuff. They've got tons of money in there. And that way I don't feel bad taking money away from them every time they leave something in the house. So this is the overarching plan. with all of the chores. Oh, the bathroom chores. Because one of the weekend chores is clean your bathroom. So we have a bathroom chore chart that hangs in the bathroom so they know every single thing that's involved with cleaning their bathroom as well. The chore charts we did when we moved into this house. So that was done 4 months ago. So they're used to the chore charts, just so you know. We didn't implement all this at one time. The thing that we're experimenting on now is the freedoms and responsibilities chart, like this very clearly defined way of what we expect from them if they want the freedoms they want. These are the expectations, and then what's going to be removed if they don't do it. So that's the plan laid out. There's one more thing I want to show you. Not only comes from social workers and things like that who we were trained by, but it also comes from a ministry called J.H. Ranch. And they have this beautiful brochure called The Journey of Transition. And I've got a PDF of it here, but it's not very clear at all. But I'm sure you can find it online or write for it or email me for it. But this has been really helpful because, let me see, here it is. It goes through the different stages of parenting and what your responsibility is, what your role is. And then they lay out the freedoms and the responsibilities. I mean, they don't lay it out, but they help you see how you can do this. So it really does give you some great ideas. They start with 12 years old. We're starting earlier. We're kind of priming the pump, so to speak, just to get them used to it so that when they're 12, this is not foreign concept to them. Like I said, we're expecting them to fail a whole lot this summer and that we get to correct and guide. And maybe by the end of the summer, we're telling them they have to do everything before they get media again. So who knows what will happen, and I'll document this journey as much as possible. But this is where a lot of this thinking came from. Matt and I went to a one-day seminar that the founder of J.H. Ranch did here in Nashville, and it was absolutely hands down the best thing that we ever saw on parenting. And we went home and spent 8 hours praying and listening to God for our oldest around how to shape this so that by the time she was 18, she was ready to be launched out of the house. And we did it, and it was amazing. But this was the piece that helped us get there. We could not have done it without this concept. And this is the concept of the moral development and internalizing your moral development and all of that. So we really, really appreciate it and just want to give credit to that and let you see kind of what that is. They do have a whole mate thing as well, money and all kinds of stuff. So that's there. I just wanted you to know about that. So that's it. That's the summer experiment, and I'll let you know how it goes. We started, really, today is their first official day, and so far they're completely abusing media and computer and haven't touched a chore. And it's 3:30, and they've been doing this since 8:30 this morning. So it's going to be fascinating when we debrief tonight at dinner, how their day went, how they felt about it, did they feel like it was balanced. So every night, every night, we debrief. We debrief how they felt about their day, how they felt it went. We debrief, did they think it was balanced? Did they do all their chores? Which chores did they not do? What things did they not do? And then what privileges do they lose tomorrow because they didn't fully do what they were supposed to do today? So that'll be every night at dinner, and I'll let you know how it goes. Bye.